Hello everybody, this is Tip Top Gaming here today with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit's r/custom magic. You know, a lot of people don't think about custom Magic cards, and it's kind of a shame. It takes a lot of work to develop a Magic card, and if you've ever made a custom Magic card, you can really see how balancing it can be very difficult when you're trying to balance flavor and mechanics. As well, it can sometimes be really hard to be creative. So, what I'm doing is I'm breaking down the top cards that were created on the Reddit r/Magic the Gathering page. I'm going to break down what they do, why it's so, good and unique, and, why it makes so much sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to break down the top 9 in terms of how Discord ranks them, and then I'm going to pick one and do it that isn't necessarily in the top 9, but one that I thought was really cool. Alrighty, the first one is Duskborn Vampire. Duskborn Vampire is a 4-cost 4/4 creature vampire with duality 1, which it says you may cast a spell for its duality cost. If you do, it enters the battlefield transformed, so that's pretty cool. It also has flying, and you can pay 2, discard a card to exile it, and return it to the battlefield transformed at the beginning of the next end step. But what does it transform into? It transforms into Screeching Bat, which is a creature bat 1/1 with flying lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, you lose a life. Then you can pay 5 to transform him. Now, I'm going to talk about why this is so brilliant. Now, vampires have the ability to turn into bats, and so basically this allows you to either play it as a 1/1 flying lifelink that also deals 1 damage to you, or you can pay 4 if you get this later on in the game and get the 4/4 vampire. Then, as an evasion trick, you can discard a card and pay 2 and turn it into a bat, which since it technically exiles it, you can save it from a board wipe, you can save it from a lot of different things by doing that, and then you can pay 5 to transform it back. Now when you transform it back, it's technically the same creature. It doesn't say exile it, then return it transformed, it just says transform. Therefore, it doesn't evade things when it transforms back, which makes sense. When you turn into something smaller, yes, you are evading it, but if something's hitting you already and then you get bigger, you don't really evade it. And I think this is very, very cool design, especially for something like a vampire, which generally just is life gain. It's very interesting. That card was designed by u/Alfonso Dragonlord. Very cool. Alrighty, then we have Ashen Shinobi. It's a blue and black creature zombie ninja 2/1, and I really like this card. If this card wasn't in the top 9, I probably would have picked it for my favorite. So, it's a 2/1 with ninjutsu, which basically means you can replace an attacking creature with this creature. Now, normally ninjutsu creatures have some sort of when they hit a player, or they have a lot of attack and low defense, so you can get in that really quick strike. However, this is only a 2/1. However, it is a cheaper way to get it out on the battlefield, and you can return a creature to your hand, so that has a lot of use there. However, it has this ability which is custom called Grave Jitsu, which allows you to pay 1 black, which is, what the cost is, and sacrifice an unblocked creature you control. So instead of bouncing it, sacrifice it, and then you put this from the graveyard to the battlefield attacking. And so this allows you to basically, it's kind of like a reassembling skeleton, but in ninja theme, and I think that's very brilliant. So thank you, u/Razor of Arduous. It'll be on the screen. I think this card is a very good design. Next, we have Purifier. This is a red and white instant, and it says remove all counters from target creature and destroy all auras attached to it. Then it deals 3 damage to that creature. So the idea here is oh, you have a Johnny's Pride mate. It's a giant 8/8, but, I can just remove those counters, and then it deals the 3 damage, and it's not super... it is very powerful. However, since it has that white in there, it makes it very hard to cast on turn 2 in a 2-color deck, so I think that is completely fair. And Purifier was made by user ISAO-EB. This next set of cards is more like a cycle of cards. They are artifact packages, and so here's what a package does. So, whenever a creature you control attacks, it may carry a package you control until end of turn. When carrying creature deals combat damage to a player, deliver and sacrifice that package. When Marching Orders, that's the white one, is delivered, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. So basically it's something you put on a creature before combat, so your opponent knows about it when it's dealing with blocking. However, it also can give the equipped creature something good. So Assassination Brief, which is a 2-cost artifact package, and it says carrying creature has Death Touch. So you don't want to block this because it has Death Touch, so it'll kill whatever it blocks. However, if you don't let it through, then they get to destroy a creature. So basically, Here's the fun part about this card. I think this card is brilliantly designed. So you equip it's on a creature. Boom. You can block it, and then you get to choose which creature dies. However, then this assassination briefing stays alive, and so then next turn it can give a different thing death touch, and so it's you eventually are going to have to deal with this thing. However, when it finally hits you, then the package is destroyed. So that's really brilliant. So the blue one is a 3-cost artifact package, and it says when it's delivered, draw 3 cards. So that one doesn't have, oh, I can just block this, and, that's fine. Sizzling Scroll, when it's delivered, sacrifice carrying creature. It deals 5 damage to any target. So this is similar to the black one, where eventually it's gonna get through, and so you get to choose, unless you can block it. Every time. And then we have Vigorous Medicine, which carrying creature gets +3/+3, and when it is delivered, you gain 3 life. So that's pretty crazy. I think the ones that give the carrying creature something has a lot more I think the ones that give the equipped carrying creature something brings a lot of dynamic gameplay, because you have to make decisions on, can I take this hit right now, or will it be better if I can delay this to the future? The deliveries were made by user Rain Dance. Next, we have Mulligan. It's a 5-cost sorcery, and it says, if this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost, similar to Once Upon a Time, which was recently banned in Standard and Pioneer. And it says, shuffle your hand into your library, then draw 7 cards. So the idea here is that, hey, you don't like your hand, this is a Mulligan back to 7. Now, this is very powerful with the London Mulligan, because technically you could Mulligan down to 1, and if this is your card, you then get 7. However, then you're good done after that one. This also, you can also cast it later on in the game for 5. And I think this card, the reason it is so good and the reason it's so high placed is not because it's a super complex idea. I think it's a very good idea. However, I think it's because it's super appropriately balanced. I could see this being a card in Magic. I don't know if it would be called Mulligan. It might be, but I think they might give it some other name. But I think this card is brilliantly designed. So thank you, user Uncaffeinated. Then we have Simic Procrastinator by user Karazake. He is a 4-cost 1/1 human wizard creature, and when it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white griffin creature token with flying. So the idea here, I believe the joke here is that the griffin is kind of like a combination of 2 things, maybe. I don't exactly get this, but that's, and the Simic like to combine things, and so he's a procrastinator. Ha 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 ha. So the flavor text kind of reveals this. Seriously, Jamie, you had 2 weeks for your hybridization project. So the idea is you're supposed to combine 2 things, but a griffin is already 2 things combined. So, but it's technically a 1 creature type. So that's kind of the joke there. Then we have Cry It, Terror Tactician. It's a 3-cost 3/3 menace legendary creature orc barbarian, which could be your commander, and it's meant to be commander card. It says whenever a creature with fear, intimidate, or menace attacks target creature defending player controls, becomes a coward until end of turn. Whenever a coward dies, you draw a card and lose a life. So basically, this encourages you to have fear, menace, and intimidate. I think this is a really fun card that plays not off creature types and not even off one mechanic, but kind of like terror. There are a couple problems with this card. Fear, Intimidate, and Menace are all like defensive attacks that make it harder to block, so it dying, I mean, it's not the only way to kill something in combat, so I'm not going to say that this card is useless. I think this is a very good card. It's interesting because, well, if you're attacking with something with Menace, it's harder to be blocked. However, it makes it so that Menace becomes more powerful, so I'm not saying that's a bad card. And Krat, Terror Tactician, was posted by user Aretho. Then we have the Perfect Crime. The Perfect Crime is an instant 4-cost black spell, and it says destroy target creature. Then if there are no creatures on the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. So the idea here is that, hey, you're going to keep playing 1 creature, I can keep killing it, and it's the perfect crime because, well, you can keep doing it because you don't get caught. And I think that the flavor here is why it's doing so well. I think this is a very, very good card. Nihilism, which is by user Drexen Relix. It's a 10-cost sorcery, and it says all players lose the game, but you keep playing because it doesn't matter. And it says, since all players have already lost, they can't win and they can't lose again. Players may choose to quit the game. The game ends when there are no players left. So this is meant to be obviously a joke card. It has the gray border, and so I think this is a very funny card. Oh, I'm about to lose. Haha. So thank you, user Drexen Relix, for designing this card. Then at number 1, we have by user Aretho, Fife's Festive Friend. This is a green, red, blue, white Legendary Snow Creature Dragon, and whenever you give one or more gifts, you gain 1 life, draw a card, and create a 1/1 green elemental snow creature token. And it says you give a gift when you cause an opponent to gain life, draw a card, create a token, or when you give an opponent control of one of your permanents. So this is obviously meant to be like a group hug kind of commander where, hey, I'm going to give you my stuff, and I'm going to benefit from that, but it looks like you're benefiting, so you're not going to attack me as much. I think that's a very, very, very interesting card. I like the theme of it, of giving a gift, and you get a very big payoff, especially for a 4-cost commander. It's also a snow creature because this is obviously a reference to, like, Christmas. And so I think this card is just masterfully designed. It would be something that they would print. They may not say give a gift. They might just say whenever you make an opponent gain life, draw a card, create a token, or give them a permit. However, I think that this card is very cool. Now, I picked out this card, and I think it's a very good card, and I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to pick 2 cards this time. It's a new type of card. It's Artifact Knowledge, and so here are 2 examples. I think the card designs itself are okay. However, I think the idea is very strong. So Teferi's Guidance is a 2-cost Artifact Knowledge, and it has Learn. You can pay 1 blue, and when Teferi's enters the battlefield, draw a card, and Learned Planeswalker has the following loyalty ability. I think the names need to be a little bit adjusted, but I think that this is a very interesting concept. So in this image, they show, target Planeswalker gets +1, target non-land permanent phases out. The next time it would phase in, it doesn't instead. So basically, it gives things cool, like, abilities. So, Lilianas Guidance, learn 2. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a non-land card. Each player who can't reveals their hand. Learned Planeswalker has the following abilities. -2, each opponent sacrifices a creature, and -4, target creature gains from an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under your control. So, basically, the idea here is that you give them more loyalty abilities. Now, I think this is a very good idea. However, there are a couple things that ruin it. There are some Planeswalkers who, part of their design is that they can't gain loyalty. So, by having some of these, like Teferi's Guidance, which is a +1, I think that'd be kind of a mistake. I think you'd have to have them all be minuses, or be in a standard state where there are not tons of Planeswalkers. Think about, another issue is Planeswalkers like Dovin, who gained a bunch of loyalty, and then giving it something like the -4 of Liliana's Guidance can be crazy. So, Planeswalkers that aren't meant to gain loyalty, or Planeswalkers that gain loyalty really fast but have weaker abilities, would benefit a ton from these, so I think they would have to be designed very carefully. Thank you, user Wary Wayfarer, for those cards. They look pretty awesome. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope, if you guys did, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you guys want to see this become more of a series thing where I break down them every week, where I'm like, here are the top 10, and, all that. If you guys enjoy the video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Please, it means a lot to me. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.